Hello and welcome back to this episode of Creative Crossover. This is the show where I interview somebody working in the creative field and have a conversation with them about what they do, how they do it, and more importantly, why they do it. Before we get into today's show, as we are just starting off, I really want to connect more with you guys. If you could find me on Twitter, it's at JackSpedding, which is JAKSPDing. Reach out, tag a few people in there, suggest some people that you think will want to come on the show and have an interesting story, and hopefully we can really make this grow over the coming months. Anyway, into today's guest, it's Nici D from Nici Deesigns. So, hi, welcome to Nici D. To start, can you just tell us a little bit about who you are and what it is that you do, please?
So, I am a very, very recently turned 40-year-old mother of three. Bit of a entrepreneur. Some people like to call me that. I don't actually call myself an entrepreneur. So my partner and I, Tony, we like to set up new businesses and see where we go with them.
Cool, nice one. I'm going to kick it off with a little quick fire round. They're quick questions, they don't have to be quick answers. So if it takes you somewhere, stick with it.
Okay.
So first one, iPhone or Android?
Android.
Android. Ooh, how come?
Android phone, but every other device. I've got a Mac, I've got an iPad. Everything else is Apple.
Cool. No, that's cool. Netflix or YouTube?
It depends what it's for. Chilling out with the kids or the family, Netflix. For creativity, ideas, and maybe learning things, then YouTube.
Cool. So what do you use YouTube for when you say learning things? What would you go on there for?
So if I come across a customer who wants me to do something that I've never done before, then I will research it and see if it's something I can do.
Cool. Next one, work hard or play hard?
Both.
No, that's cool. Text or call?
Call.
Cool. Love or money?
Love.
Book or audiobook?
Book.
Book. Cool. Any particular reason?
My favourite time to read a book is on an aeroplane, on a beach, or led on a sun lounger. That's my thing. Whenever I get to the airport, I buy 3 books in the airport and I spend my time reading on holiday.
Cool. So that's your relaxation time. There's no downtime.
It is.
Yep. Cool.
Yeah.
So what would you say is the best thing that you own?
The best thing that
you own.
That I own. Well, that's a difficult question because I'm very lucky that I've got 3 healthy children. But they're crazy and they drive me insane. So is that a blessing?
Yeah.
or is that a hindrance? But own material wise, I don't know. I'm not really that material. I love all my art and craft things that I own. I'm obsessed. I'm an obsessive compulsive purchaser of arty things. So I don't know, I guess them. I love my car.
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah.
What would you, coming off the back of that, you might not have an answer for this if you're not materialistic, but what's the best thing that you don't own? What would you like to own? What's the goal?
What do I not own? Now, it's not about me, this one. This is about Tony.
Yeah,
he'd love to have a Ferrari or a Porsche. So I guess my ultimate goal would be to be in a position to buy that for him.
Nice. He's a lucky man.
He is a lucky man.
Cool. So I was having a quick look at your Instagram this morning. I noticed, was it 2013 you started Nici Designs?
Yeah, purely by accident.
Cool. So coming up to 6 years this year, yeah. Firstly, congratulations. And secondly, what do you think the secret to your success is?
I have no idea, to be honest, because all the businesses I've ever set up, the intention was never to make them massively successful. They've always started from doing something that I've enjoyed doing. So Nici Designs was purely because I was on maternity leave with my last child, Reyes, and I made in fact, I started scribbling some drawings down just out of boredom. I'd been stressed out with the kids and whatnot.
Yep.
So, and then I just posted a few pictures of them on Facebook, and people were commenting and liked them. And a friend of mine messaged me to say, "Oh, can you put that on a canvas for me? I love it." So I went out and I bought all the stuff and I did that for him, and he paid me quite a nice sum of money for doing it, which I was really shocked about. And then I decided to make a little Hessian bag for my middle child for nursery. And when I took her to nursery with it the next day, by the end of that day, I was inundated with orders for other children in the nursery wanting the same bags.
That's good. So you've sort of been not forced into it, but you've almost sort of fallen into a job that you like then.
Literally just fell into it, and it just went from there, and then it developed from there into drawing, painting caricatures on bags. And then before I knew it, I was contacted by an international toy company to do Tonka Town and Barbie and Hello Kitty and a few others.
So was that purely through your social media then, or?
Yeah.
Wow.
Purely Facebook.
So is Facebook, would you say, is that the biggest driver for your business? For
me, definitely.
Cool.
That's where most of my business comes from, Facebook.
Cool. So what does the creative process look like for you? So I know you mentioned sort of sitting down and scribbling. Do you always start by sitting down and scribbling ideas, or, and you mentioned YouTube as well, do you sit there? Where does your creativity come from?
That's really difficult to answer, actually. I can be led in bed at 3 o'clock in the morning and have an idea for something. I'll have to get out of bed and go and draw it or write it down, or whenever something comes into my head, I just have to get on with it.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same. Have you got Google Keep on your phone?
Have I got what, sorry?
It's called Google Keep. It's it's just like a note app basically, and the amount of things that pop into my head, and all of a sudden I have to make a quick note of it, because if I haven't noted it down within 5 minutes, like yourself, when you say you'll wake up at 3 o'clock and think, oh, quick, I need to get that down. Otherwise, you'll just forget about it.
I'm really old school, Jack. It must be my age, because I've got a pad and pen at the side of the bed.
No, that's nice. That's ace. That's good. So you mentioned the other companies that you've got. They're sort of in the similar sort of design technology space. There's one for, is it mobile web design, and one for QR codes. Could you tell us a little bit more about those, please?
So I'm not very tech savvy. That's my partner. He's the tech guy. So MobiSync was created. It was an idea he had about 10, 11 years ago, maybe, where he was looking at how mobile phones were becoming ever more popular, and that eventually people would move from desktops to handheld devices. And he wanted to make sure that when you looked at a website on your handheld device, that it were mobile friendly.
Yep.
So that idea started quite a long time ago, and then he built the website, and we've done quite a few mobile websites for quite a few businesses, but he also has a full-time day job. And then I'm very busy doing lots of other things. So that kind of took a back seat.
Cool. One of the interesting things you said to me at the beginning of this was, you don't say that you're an entrepreneur. I know from the outside, a lot of people look at you saying you're prolific in creating companies and making them work. What would you say you were if you weren't an entrepreneur?
A busy fool. I class myself as a busy fool. So we like to buy properties and either rent them out or do them up and sell them on. It's extremely stressful. It takes up a lot of your time. And without sounding a bit like arsey about it, there's a lot of tax implications, and now with the new regulations that have been brought in, it's becoming increasingly more difficult for people to, or the government are trying to make it increasingly more difficult for people to continue on that kind of path. I think when it's just me and Tony, so we're just a small little business between ourselves. We're not a massive property developing company. It's just something that we do in our spare time. So that's kind of why I don't class myself as an entrepreneur because I'm not some big, massive property developer or, do you know what I mean? People say, oh, you've got a few properties, you're a property developer. I don't look at myself like that.
Yeah, it's more of a, and I hate the hustle kind of thing, but it's more of a side hustle kind of thing.
Yeah, just trying to, make provisions for the future.
Yeah, definitely. So what does your future, what's in your future, do you think? What's the end goal?
You know what? I don't think we have an end goal. We just, between us, Tony and I, we're just always looking for something new, always looking for something else to do. We kind of, at the beginning of every year, we kind of sit down and have a conversation about what are we going to do this year? What's the next big thing? What are we going to sink our teeth into? And that's just where ideas begin for us, and then grow from there if we can make it happen.
Yeah, cool. So it's not necessarily a creative space that you see. If you see somewhere where you can make money or you can make something work for the future, you'll just go for it, no matter what the sort of the sector it's in. Or
yeah, I mean, I even set up a business at one point a few years ago where my accountant said to me, "This is a really bad idea. I don't think you should do it." And me being me and Tony being Tony, we kind of said, fuck it, we'll just do it anyway. Sorry for swearing.
Nope, you're fine, go for it.
And we'd bought a building to rent out, but we had that many people inquiring to rent the building and turn it into a sandwich, deli, coffee shop, convenience store and off license. We sort of said, well, shall we try it? Shall we give it a go? The accountant was like, don't do it. Just rent it out. You don't want the stress. You don't want the hassle. But no, we decided to give it a try, and we literally had 4 years of running an off-license, convenience, sandwich, deli, coffee shop, all under one roof. We had a wonderful 4 years. We created an amazing community around it. And after 4 years, I felt like I was dying. Right. I felt like I had no life in me whatsoever. I was having to turn down work for Nici Deesigns because I was so tired. I just didn't have the time to do it. And then we went on a family holiday, and while we were away, we was sat around the pool, and I just kind of said to Tony, look, when we get back, I think we need to step out of this, maybe rent it out or something, because it's killing me.
Yeah.
I need to get back to doing the bags and being creative and, just working from home and have a bit of time out. So that's what we did.
Cool. Nice one. Sounds good. I've noticed, I'm just scrolling through your Instagram feed now, and I noticed one of the things that stands out to me is that you don't mind being a little bit cheeky. If do you think that's one of your selling points? Like, I'm looking at one now, a custom bauble saying "suck my baubles." Do you think that's one of your selling points and why you feel you've done so well? Or
well, anyone that knows me personally knows that I'm very cheeky and I don't mind pushing the boundaries. In fact, I think I actually quite get off on pushing the boundaries.
Yeah.
So, that is very much me. I mean, I do try to keep the social media side of things as tame as possible, but every now and again, I just do something and I think, bugger it, I'm going to post it and let's see what people
just slips
think.
Out. Do you think that's the kind of stuff that you get the most traction with? Are people more sort of attracted to that kind of thing, or?
I've noticed that I've lost quite a few followers over the years by posting certain things. I think you get people that don't like the odd swear word and they don't like certain things, so they'll unfollow me, but that doesn't bother me. Yeah,
no, that's cool. So nearly there. What's the one piece of advice that you would give to people who are trying to chase their passion?
I've got loads of advice. But the main thing is, don't let anybody ever tell you that you can't do something.
Cool. That's perfect. That's great. And finally, lastly, where can people find you online?
They can find me at Nici Deesigns, but that's DEESIGNS. On everything. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all under the same name. Nice
one. Perfect. Thank you very much for that. And that's it for this episode of Creative Crossover. I really hope you found something valuable in this and something to take away. As always, wherever you are listening, please do leave us a review. If it's a good one. If it's not, reach out and tell me why. And please do connect with me on Twitter. It's at Jack Spedding again. And just let people know about the podcast. It really does make a difference. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.